Acne is the most common skin condition on Earth. It affects up to 85% of people between the ages of 12 and 24. It affects hundreds of millions of adults who were told they would grow out of it. The global acne treatment industry is worth over $12 billion and growing. And almost none of it addresses the actual cause. Because the actual cause is not what your dermatologist treats, it is not what the skincare industry sells you, and it is almost certainly not what you have been told. The proof of this is simple and striking. Dermatologists and anthropologists have studied isolated populations living in the way humans have lived for most of their existence. Hunter-gatherer groups in Paraguay, traditional communities in Papua New Guinea, isolated pastoral populations in various parts of the world. In study after study, the result is the same. No acne. None. Not reduced rates. Not milder cases. Virtually zero. This is not genetics. The descendants of these same populations who adopt modern diets and modern lives develop acne at rates identical to any Western teenager. The skin is the same. The genetics are the same. The acne appears only when the lifestyle changes. Something about modern life causes acne, and it is not your face wash. Let's go. Start with what acne actually is at the biological level. Your skin contains millions of hair follicles. Each follicle has a sebaceous gland attached to it that produces sebum, an oily, waxy substance that lubricates and waterproofs the skin and hair. This is a normal and necessary biological function. Without sebum, your skin would crack, dry out, and lose its ability to function as a protective barrier. Acne begins when sebum production goes into overdrive, when dead skin cells accumulate faster than they shed, and when a bacteria called Cutibacterium acnes, which normally lives harmlessly on the skin, begins to proliferate in the blocked follicle, triggering an inflammatory response. 3 things have to happen for acne to occur: excess sebum, blocked follicle, inflammation. Remove any one of these and acne does not develop. Ancient humans had the same sebaceous glands, the same follicles, the same bacteria on their skin. But none of the 3 triggers activated at the level required to produce acne. The question is why, and the answer takes you somewhere most dermatologists never look. The first piece is insulin, and this is the one the skincare industry does not want to talk about. When you eat food, especially carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. Your pancreas releases insulin to manage that rise. In normal amounts, this is healthy and necessary. But when blood sugar spikes rapidly and repeatedly, insulin levels spike with it, and elevated insulin has a direct and well-documented effect on the skin. High insulin levels stimulate the production of a hormone called IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1. IGF-1 tells the sebaceous glands to produce more sebum. It tells skin cells to proliferate faster, which means more dead cells accumulating in follicles. And it promotes androgen activity, the hormones that further drive sebum production. In one sentence, high insulin means more sebum, more blocked follicles, and more inflammation, which means more acne. Now think about what ancient humans ate: wild game, fish, tubers, roots, leaves, berries, seasonal fruit, all of it unprocessed, all of it low glycemic. None of it was refined flour, white rice, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, or any of the foods that cause the rapid blood sugar spikes that drive insulin and IGF-1 into the acne-producing range. The ancient diet did not produce the insulin spikes that drive sebum overproduction. The sebaceous glands received a normal signal and produced a normal amount of sebum, not enough to block follicles, not enough to trigger the inflammatory cascade. This is now one of the most well-supported findings in dermatological research. Low glycemic index diets consistently reduce acne in clinical trials. Not because of some mysterious anti-inflammatory property of certain foods, but because lowering dietary glycemic load lowers insulin, lowers IGF-1, and removes the primary driver of excess sebum production. The second piece is dairy, and this one is even more direct. Milk, specifically cow's milk, contains hormones. Not because of any modern farming practice. Milk is biologically designed to signal rapid growth in a calf. It contains IGF-1 directly. It contains precursors that raise IGF-1. It contains androgens. All of these promote the same sebum overproduction pathway that leads to acne. Ancient humans did not drink milk past infancy, and they absolutely did not drink the milk of other species. The domestication of cattle and the widespread adoption of dairy consumption began only around 10,000 years ago, a blink of evolutionary time. The human sebaceous gland was never designed to receive the growth signals contained in bovine milk. Multiple large studies have now confirmed the link between dairy consumption, particularly skim milk, which appears to have the strongest effect, and acne severity. The connection is not subtle. It is direct, measurable, and consistent. The third piece is something even fewer people discuss: stress. You know this one from experience. A major exam, a difficult life event, a sustained period of pressure, and your skin breaks out. This is not coincidence or weakness. It is biology. Stress activates the production of cortisol. Cortisol, the same hormone involved in the anxiety response, directly stimulates sebaceous glands. It promotes androgen activity. It impairs the skin's barrier function. It suppresses the immune responses that normally keep Cutibacterium acnes in check. Ancient humans experienced acute stress, real physical danger, genuine threat. But this kind of stress resolved. The threat ended. Cortisol levels returned to baseline. The skin was not under sustained cortisol bombardment for weeks or months at a time. Modern stress is precisely that: chronic, sustained, often unresolvable. The cortisol drip never fully stops. The sebaceous glands never fully recover. The skin barrier never fully restores. The inflammation never fully settles. Ancient humans were not stressed less because their lives were easier. Their lives were often genuinely more dangerous. But their stress had the one thing modern stress almost never has: it ended. The fourth piece is sleep, and this connects to all three of the others. During deep sleep, the body repairs the skin barrier. It regulates the hormones, including cortisol, insulin, androgens, that drive acne when dysregulated. It performs the cellular maintenance that keeps sebaceous glands functioning normally. Sleep deprivation, which is essentially universal in modern life, raises cortisol, raises insulin resistance, disrupts androgen regulation, and impairs skin barrier function. All four of the primary acne pathways are worsened by poor sleep. All four are improved by sufficient deep sleep. Ancient humans slept in alignment with natural light. Their sleep was deep and sufficient, not because they were disciplined, but because their environment enforced it. Darkness meant sleep. Waking meant light. The system was automatic. Now here is what the dermatologist gives you instead of this explanation: benzoyl peroxide, retinoids, antibiotics, hormonal birth control, spironolactone, isotretinoin. Some of these work. Isotretinoin dramatically reduces sebum production and has genuinely changed lives. But none of them address why the sebaceous gland is overproducing in the first place. None of them lower your glycemic load. None of them remove dairy from your diet. None of them resolve your cortisol dysregulation. None of them improve your sleep. They manage the symptom. They do not address the cause. And the cause, the actual biological reason acne exists at epidemic scale in modern populations and at virtually zero in isolated traditional populations, is the mismatch between what the sebaceous gland was designed for and what modern life is doing to it. What can you do with this? The evidence is strong enough to be worth taking seriously. Reducing refined carbohydrates and sugar, not eliminating them, just reducing the glycemic spikes, consistently improves acne in clinical settings. Eliminating or significantly reducing dairy, particularly liquid milk and skim milk, has a measurable effect in people whose acne is dairy-driven. Managing chronic stress, not eliminating it, which is impossible, but giving the cortisol somewhere to go through physical movement and genuine rest, helps. Sleeping more and in better alignment with natural darkness helps. None of these are as immediately satisfying as a prescription. None of them produce results in 2 days. But all of them address something the prescription does not. The skin is not a cosmetic organ that occasionally malfunctions. It is a biological system responding to inputs. The inputs your skin is receiving: high glycemic food, bovine hormones, chronic cortisol, sleep deprivation, are inputs it was never designed to process. Ancient humans had clear skin not because they had better skin. They had clear skin because nothing in their world told their sebaceous glands to go into overdrive. That instruction, the one that turns ordinary skin into acne, is coming from your life, not your face.